Hello, YouTubers. This is Joe Bravo and Mo Bravo's Knife Reviews, and today is the day I am going to provide an overall interpretation and impression of the four front flippers I have before you. I was planning on doing this on Friday, but man, I'm so excited that here I am. I am ready to go, and I'm just gonna get into it. So, my favorite out of all of these right now definitely happens to be my Anton Knives Boudica. It is just fantastic. I loathed it. I sold one. I hated it. I bought another one. Anton needed to give me videos, and once I got the hang of it, man, this is a really beautiful knife with a sweet action. And I said, I want a big knife, I want a frame lock, and I don't know if I could live up to having such a strong detent with another flipper if it didn't have a frame lock and a large blade stock, and live up to the thwack. So the first knife I got after the Boudica was the Mitch Clark Gunstock. Now, Mitch Clark is in his 20s still. He's been making knives for a couple of years, maybe even longer, but a young maker who's trying to find his way, and I don't mean that he hasn't, but in some of the videos that I have seen of Mitch Clark talking about how he's doing knives, he's just doing knives right now for him and what speaks to him, or at least he was back when I watched the video that Blade Gallery had posted. That's where a lot of his knives come through. I believe his books are closed right now, but you're finding more and more popping up on the swap. My buddy Kyle and my buddy Brandon told me about Mitchell Clark, so I said, all right, well, this one popped up, and it is a beautiful Agir Damasteel with a Zerk collar and a Zerk pocket clip. And I said, let me give it a shot. So this knife is terrific. It's got a great drop shut action. When I like to close the blade, I like to keep my fingers out from getting dropped on. It gets a little sticky there. I think if, I took this apart and cleaned it, lubed it up, I'm sure it would have just a scotch bit better action than it does at the moment. Plus, this is my first time handling the knife. I've had it for about a week and a half now. I haven't pocketed it, I haven't carried it, but all in all, if I paid custom prices for this, which goes for around $800, $900 for some variations, I would be certainly thrilled with what I got. Beautiful knife, South African, terrific, and my buddy Kyle that got me into these guys, he's going to take that one off my hands, and I'm not too bummed about it. The next one I got was a Trevor Burger Custom Knives Atlas. This is an SFL, which is a frame lock. I forget what the S stands for, but it'll come to me. Slab frame lock. The tab is a little higher than the Clark, which I kind of like. I feel like the jimping is a little bit more aggressive than I thought it was going to be. If you want to take a look, the Anton knives, it almost looks like barbed wire, and you're like, man, that's really aggressive. But no, I mean, after a while, my thumb has really become accustomed to the jimping on that, and the jimping on the Atlas is a little bit more than I think I'd like. The jimping, I will say, on the Clark is really nice. It is a little bit more aggressive than I'd like as well, but you still get a good purchase on it without ripping your fingers up. I will say, when I do the finger flip over here, and I think I cut myself in the same spot yesterday doing the exact same thing. Let's see if it opens up again. That's what happens when you try and show off on the video. But just a great amount of jimping. It gets a little aggressive after a while. But, the Anton, I feel like I figured out the spot, and I could do that finger flick, no problem. I was making some jokes today, calling it the panty dropper, but, I think it's pretty sweet when you open a knife this way. I kind of got to get the hang of it with some of my other ones. But, so I got the Atlas in. I said frame lock. It's going to have a great detent like the Boudica does. It does not drop shut as nicely. It's a one shake shut. And, that's, you either love that, hate that, But when you look at the size of the Boudica and how smooth that action is, there's nothing quite like it. Or so I thought. And I finally got my hands on a Shamwari, and this is made by Jason and Gareth Bull out in South Africa. You hear all the hype in the world about how nice these knives are. Oh, it's bullshit. Oh, how could a knife be this good? Everybody's the hype train. I'll tell you, 5 minutes of handling this knife, and I'm impressed. I really am. I didn't think I was going to like it as much. I didn't think because it was a liner lock, it would have a light detent. It doesn't. It does have a strong enough detent that I really get satisfaction flipping it open. I really think it's smooth. It's on bearings. It's 3.3 inches. And, man, is it a fantastic knife. It's very difficult to say that this knife can be better than it is in its current interpretation and current form. My buddy Francois was telling me that the 3.3 inch is the best interpretation of a Shamwari that's available. And I tell you, I like bigger knives. I don't think this is a small knife. I get the ruler out, and it is about 7 3/4, which is great because I can get a full 4-finger grip on it, which is perfect. If you look, here's my Unto, and I think this is a great knife. I might have better ergos on the Sham. It might be a little bit less because of where he puts the flipper on here. One of these days I'm going to get a flipper delete for these Untos. I love them, but today's not about that. But I really think the ergos on the Sham might be better than the Unto. The Marcarta is great. It's beautiful. It's got polished flats. It's got the drop point style blade. It is hand rubbed, and this is really sweet. I haven't been able to figure out getting the pointer finger over flick with, there it is. See, the opening and jimping on the Sham is a lot less pronounced. We were talking about this in the We Love Knife chat today, that some of these other knives like the Bugatti or the Atlas, they're very pronounced. And I will say, for my big thumb, the Anton is probably the most pronounced that I have, and I love it because I could get a crap ton of purchase with it. If I wanted to go knuckle, I got plenty to get my knuckle on. If I wanted to go pad of the finger, I can go pad of the finger. And any way that I decide to open this knife, I've got a lot of purchase on it, and that's important in finding that detent. Is it a detriment to the Sham? I don't think so, because the way the jimping is lined up, it's kind of like my Cortex, where I don't have to be down here to roll it over. I could just get it right here on this tick, and the way they've got the T-tent and the break and geometry of the lock engagement, you don't even have to use the side of your thumb to roll this over. And it's new to me, I didn't think I would ever figure out how to do it as well. And, even because I'm having that, I could find myself, man, just with this Clark now, rolling it over, and maybe that's a little different. I'm going to get that Anton in my hand and see if I could do that now. Look, I'm on camera trying to figure out different ways to do things a little bit better. But, man, yeah, now I'm feeling it. Let's see. See, the way the Anton is, it's just a little too big to get that thumb roll in there with the pad of your finger like I'm doing with these other guys. It's maybe it's because of where the detent is as well. Yeah, there it is. You gotta come a little bit further over the top, and you can't really roll it, mainly because, you know, there's no roll, I guess you could say. You know, that's almost as much of a 90-degree angle as you can get, whereas on the Sham, don't think about it as a 90-degree angle. Think about this little 45-degree knockout, and you could roll your thumb right over there, you know, like a Zippo, and you don't really get the interpretation when somebody says you can get the Zippo flip. You know, I didn't get it until just now, doing it on camera for everybody here to see. So what's that say about me? You know, if you could see, using the Atlas, my thumb got all sorts of ripped up trying to flip the Atlas like my Anton. But, you know, it's not an Anton. I could use the pad of my finger and just roll it over and be pleasantly surprised with the action. You know, does that change that, you know, the Anton is any worse or better? I don't think so. It's just the way the geometry is. And if you go and look at some of Anton's other knives, he's got the angel flipper or the angel eye, and his interpretation of this lockup is a lot different. Even in the Boudica that I had prior to this, the engagement of the jimping is a lot different, as it's more inlay into the location of the knife and to the deployment. It's almost here, and that's what's awesome about these knives, these makers. You know, Anton's trying different stuff. You get to see what you like best. Now, I don't like flicking my wrist, and I do feel that the Boudica is the best for that. It's so big, once you break that detent, it just flies open. Even, you know, like oh man, that didn't even, you know, it didn't even feel like anything. It's just like hitting a baseball, hitting a home run. You hit that detent and it just flies open. You know, I don't think I'm there yet with the Atlas, you know. Yeah, you know, it's not bad. I feel like the added weight of the Anton certainly helps the thwack. You know, but using this knife in a office environment may not be the proper environment, whereas you know, you bust the Clark out, or if you bust the Sham out, people are just going to think you have a nice gentleman's knife on you. And that is a big thing to think about when determining what knife you're going to have in your pocket. Just as the deep carry in the Sham really excites me, because I am a fan of the deep carry, and I'll be honest, it looks like that one will carry perfect inside the pocket. The Clark as well has a great deeper carry pocket clip, and inside the pocket it is very comfortable. I had this one in my pocket walking around the house, and I really enjoyed it. The same can be said about the Atlas, and how deep that is, and how comfortable that is in the pocket. I don't think any of these knives would be uncomfortable in the pocket. If I had to pick, you know, the Anton, I'm wearing gym shorts right now, so it's really hard to determine what I like best. But I've carried the Anton. It's 5 ounces. It's over 8.5 inches long, but it carries so comfortably for me that I don't have a problem carrying this knife at all. If I had to pick a favorite, I would say the Sham is the best multi-purpose EDC as everyday carry environment. I think it's got the best clip out of these guys. It's definitely a multi-purpose, because it's not scary, but what knife do I like best would definitely have to be the Boudica. It doesn't mean any of these knives are better or worse. And you know, it's funny, I'd like to get a sham in frame lock to see, if there's any difference in that detent. As you can see, sometimes I misdeploy the Boudica. I almost have to be reminded that it's in frame lock, because the ease of flipping the sham with a liner lock means I can pretend it's a PM2 and I could grip these scales like it's nobody's business. And it's so funny now that I get that roll. I had a sham Wii. If you go back, I have the Wii version of the sham, and I loathed it. I just could not figure out how to hold it as a frame lock and with the detent geometry. But with a liner, with bearings, I don't have any issue with this knife. And I'm telling you, I loathe the Shamwari. So if I had to pick my two favorites, it would most certainly be the Sham and the Boudica. My third favorite would be the Clark. And then, the Atlas is a lesser of four evils. But if I had a burger, I don't think I would be disappointed if I held on to this one for a little while, now that I'm figuring out how to properly manipulate it with the pad of my finger instead of the side tick of the finger. I'm really enjoying it, and that's why when we were talking about that in the We Love Knife chat, you don't really need more than that to get yourself a nice purchase on the flick. And Anton spoils me because I've got a country mile to get in there. But so, we said we were going to go head to head. Which one do I like better? It's tough, man. I'm going to be honest. My other buddy Kyle is going to snipe this one for me. And 5 minutes into having the sham in hand, I was like, fuck, I can't believe I sold this knife before I got it in hand, because it is fabulous. Kyle, I know you don't watch this one, and I don't care. I'm going to be envious as fuck that you're going to have this, because this is a perfect iteration of this knife. It is light. The micarta makes it durable. I wouldn't be afraid to use it. I wouldn't be afraid to carry it. It's comfortable, and I really, really, really think this is as good of an offering as everybody says they are. And it's great to have the opportunity to have that perspective, to get to try it, to figure out what works best for me, works best for somebody else, and to know that the people that are going balls deep over the sham, they really have a valid argument as that knife being as good as they say it is. So yeah, to pick a winner, the sham or the Boudica, there's no losers. It's whatever floats your boat. I mean, just listen to how this opens and how much that thwack is. You guys know how much I love an action and how much I enjoy it. This thing's freaking awesome. Look at the micarta. I mean, not the micarta, the Damascus. Look at the collar. Look at the pocket clip. If you want a knife that's going to wow, I think it's the Boudica all day long. If you want a knife that you could carry and your mom's not going to be scared when you break it out at dinner time, I think the Sham's the perfect knife. Now, obviously they make different configurations. My buddy was selling a full dressed Shamwari for over $4,000. I don't know if I would purchase one for $4,000. I did pick this one up for around $2,000, and it is a lot of money. It is. It's a lot of money. Whereas the Boudica in its configuration goes for around $1,300. So, as price points go, that's really up to you. Would you rather spend $1,400 on the Boudica, or would you rather spend $2,000 on the Sham? Is the Sham another $600, depending on the configuration, $100 better than the Boudica? And like I said, the Boudica comes in different sizes. If you wanted a smaller size, you could work with Anton to get one. His books are open. You could call him. You could send him a message on Instagram. With the shams, I don't think it's as easy to get your hands on one. I've tried for a couple of drops and I don't get them. I've tried for a couple lottos and I don't get them. They make a fantastic, fantastic knife. If you've seen the spiral pivot, it's out of control. It's only on the frame locks, I think. But this is the hidden pivot because it's a liner lock. And, you know, it's just a sweet knife. And I'm going to miss it. I'm definitely going to miss this knife. And it sucks because I'm going to watch this video and cry over the fact that I had it. But, you know, I can also look at it as I have a buddy of mine who's going to get one sweet-ass knife. And he's going to enjoy it. And sometimes that means a lot more than having one in your own collection. So, let's get them all out here just one more time so we can take a look and compare them. There's the Atlas, and here is the Clark. And so the Clark, they do make in a 3.8 inch blade. They do come in non-Dama steel. He makes a beautiful hand rub, and I think I'm going to get on his books if I can, because it is a beautiful knife. He makes a beautiful, beautiful blade, and you know, I don't see myself being upset if I had a Clark in the collection. The Atlas, he makes a couple different models. He makes a LECK, and there's another one, ECK. One's a 3.25 or 3.4 inch blade. The other one is a 3-inch blade. So, you know, he's got a couple of different iterations. If, you know, a 3.3, 3.4 inch blade isn't what you're looking for, if you want a little bit more width in the scale stock, you have that ability to get that. The sham, they make in a 3, a 3.3, and a 3.5. I spoke to some people, and like I said, the 3.3 seems to be the best configuration of the sham. I'd like to get a 3.5 and see how it compares to the Boudica, but I still don't think that it will be comparable, just because of the difference in thickness of the scales, the difference in thickness in the blade stock, you know, and they're different knives. You know, this is a utility. You can beat the hell out of it. Not to say that I've seen users of people really, you know, giving heavy duty and the sham taking it, but you know, they're a little bit different knives, which is fine because that's why you have a collection. You can carry one day, carry one another, and you know, really get to enjoy different knives on a daily basis. That's why they call it everyday carry. And you know, if you want to have one knife, I hope this video helps you determine which of these knives are better suited for you. Let me know what you think is the better knife. You heard my opinion, and you know, I hope everybody understands. Again, they're just that. If you can reach out to Anton to get on his books, send him a message on Instagram. I'm sure he'd love to sell you a knife. If not, go check out Blade Gallery and a couple of the other vendors, or hit me up and see what I've got moving. Who the hell knows? You know, this Boudica might be on its way out the door for another one to make its way in. I still have my Cracked Ice Nebula as well. As far as Mitch Clark, I've talked to a lot of people. They said you could reach out to him on Instagram. I have not tried to reach out to Trevor Burger, but that doesn't mean he's not available as well for you to get in contact with. I find that a lot of the South African makers are very, I forget that. A lot of the makers don't have a problem responding to messages on social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you can get your hands on. Just, you know, remember they're people too. Talk to them like a person. And if you can make something work out, you can make it work out. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I wasn't going to be as in-depth because it's Wednesday night at 12 and I'm tired, and that's okay because I know nobody's still watching at this point. And if you are, let me know. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and I'm really looking forward to what I've got coming down the pipe. I landed a Jaeger, and I got a frame lock accent incoming, and I plan on going head-to-head like I did with the front flippers with those guys. I also have a Marafione custom sigil and a custom Monroe sigil. So I'm going to put those two together and see how the sigil has evolved in 5 years. The Merifione's from 2016, the new one's 2021. And it would just be great to see 2 3.5-inch sigils and see, what's changed, what's similar. Do I like one? Do I like the other? And, let that perspective go out there for the channel and for the audience. So, and also because I like it. Don't forget that. Well, again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of this channel. And if you have anything that you'd like to add, please do so in the comments. Thank you. Have a great night and have a great rest of your week. Take care.